Today we have a great unboxing video of Mattel's DC Supervillain action figure set of Batman vs Clayface. We are very much in the early days of seeing how Mattel is delivering this DC license with the kids line in anticipation of what they bring next year with the adult collector line. This is the second unboxing video we are doing in which Batman stands off against a monstrous villain. If you didn't catch my previous video of Killer Croc, you can watch it in the link below. For me, Clayface is certainly more of the interesting supervillain, as he has a great backstory. If you don't know, watch the animated series 2-part episode called Feet of Clay. We also have Clayface the movie coming out this year in October, which is a horror film, and that brings more excitement around this villain. Now enough about that, let's dive into this set and see what this pairing has to bring. This is the only open box set from all the supervillain sets, and for good reason. You can get hands on and swap Clayface's head around, which is actually a very cool feature. As you can see, I already did a bit of a cheeky unpacking of Clayface because, now let's be honest, the 7-year-old inside me couldn't help himself. Clayface is a beautifully sculpted monstrosity of a mess. Dangerously deformed, he's a cunning shapeshifter who has the ability to carve himself into an offensive weapon to attack Batman. This is demonstrated with the hammer hand that is sculpted on this figure, as it seems to be the regular choice of weapon for our villain. Interestingly enough, we caught the hammer hand in shadow form in the latest Clayface movie trailer too. Before we jump onto Batman, let's take a quick look at the head swap function Clayface has to offer. Both head sculpts are hideously beautiful and don't shortchange anyone in feeling something when looking at them. We feel horror, and at the same time we also feel sympathy. In contrast, we have a sleek Batman in his relaxed and calm look. Honestly, not sure what to make out the colour of Batman's attire, as it seems a bit more white than grey, and for me that's a bit too light. Perhaps it's a bit more comic book inspired, I'm not really sure. In fact, I would really love to hear people's opinion in the comment section below. For me, I've grown up consuming Batman content through TV media, cartoons, movies, so someone who's not grown up with comics, perhaps other people have other opinions and thoughts, which also would be good, and I genuinely would be interested to hear people's opinions. Nevertheless, I love the bright yellow utility belt and the black cowl, gloves and trunks, which comes together to make this figure look visually more appealing. The standout feature is the black and yellow outlined bat symbol across the chest. Excellent colour combination. On the back of the box we have a cool image of both action figures in battle. Some more information about Clayface's hammer arm, and a bit more about the accessory than which we can look into later on. A lot of cool artwork which is toned out to highlight the products. The choice of battle location in the artwork is quite thoughtfully placed, as it pays homage to Matt Hagen, a famous actor who eventually, through a series of unfortunate events, becomes Clayface. Let's unbox this set and explore what this pairing has to offer. The physical difference of both figures is more apparent out of the box. Nothing is more exciting than seeing a superhero take on a villain who is bigger, more powerful and dangerous, which plays into this set. Though the world's greatest detective would have to rely on his intelligence and being tactical, Clayface is not that far behind in both aspects, which is what makes this story more compelling. Clayface is driven by rage and anger, but these feelings are underwritten by his hopelessness and worries. He wants to get back to those who did him wrong and would go to any length. Batman is the anchor which understands Clayface and wants to contain his rage, to not only protect Gotham from Clayface's blinding, vengeful fury, but also protect Clayface from himself. Let's take a quick look at the only piece of accessory here, which is a grapple gun. A clean and durable piece of plastic painted in black, this weapon comes with 3 yellow projectiles. In fact, I'd say this probably looks more like a rocket launcher, as Batman has to position it on his shoulder to fire it. The launcher allows an extra projectile to be secured beneath it. It also has an extended rotatable arm which has a plug that can be secured into the back of Batman and also the Batmobile, which lends itself into the modular nature of this whole toy set. And sometimes for me it's about the attention to details, the small things that really make a big difference. Mattel did not hold off from decorating the piece of plastic with intricate detail that makes it really seem like a sophisticated piece of technology in Batman's arsenal. And as you can see, the launcher definitely packs a punch. A sleek and simple Batman attire, it seems like the same Batman figure we had in the Killer Croc set. The only difference is that in the Killer Croc set, Batman had the red goggles sculpted to his head, and in this we get the traditional white eyes. Batman has nice, sharp, pointy ears with a relaxed expression. Paint looks natural on the facial skin, with the mask and cowl painted in beautiful black. The cape is nice and long. It's a soft goods product that's tucked under the cowl and it reaches all the way down to his ankles. And we can see a hole between Batman's shoulder blades for accessories to be attached. We have a beautiful yellow utility belt which matches well with the light attire. You can remove the strap that joins the belt from the center, which reveals the waist articulation. The belt itself is a beautiful sculpt that shows different pockets, and it looks chunky, which I actually like as it breaks up the slim design of the action figure. I want to quickly take you through the articulation of this figure. You get great articulation with head all the way around. The head can rotate and tilt. You get your usual rotation in the arm and tilt, no bicep swivel. For a single jointed elbow we get excellent range, and in the hands you get your standard swivel and tilt. From the legs you have great range from the ballpoint joint. You have your standard thigh cut swivel, double jointed pinless knees that never disappoint. We have no torso or ankle articulation, but that can be expected in a kids line action figure. Clayface is the second monster villain we are getting, who stands at 7.5 inches. His body mold is carved to look as if he's made from clunks of mud and clay. Similar to Croc, this monstrous villain has a larger upper body and arms to emphasize his physical superiority over Batman. His upper body is beautifully sculpted to look like mud sliding off his back. His muscles look like heaps of mud clunked together with fragments of other material in there. Often we see his shape being quite runny and soft, but Clayface has the ability to harden his form, which is demonstrated by the solid hammer hand. I think it would be appropriate not to say anything else further from here. Clayface has two head sculpts. Let's look at the bigger one first, which seems to be inspired from the animated series. It's a much larger head that seems to morph in with the main body, as he has no neck. He has giant crooked teeth and evil yellow eyes with an evil laughing expression. There is no head tilt or rotation, but we get some lower jaw movement, and that is before you lock the head into position. In order for me to get some animation out of it, I had to make sure I held it off from locking in. And yeah, it is a bit of a cheat, but you have to play around the constraints. The second head, which is of regular size, seems more horror-like. The expression has sharp pointy teeth, and what makes this more horrifying is that you find a set of teeth within his mouth. Now my theory is that this could be Matt Hagen within Clayface's body as his body transforms. Or we even had Clayface absorb Batman into his own body in one of the episodes of the animated series, which could mean it's a victim inside him. Again, I may not be aware of all the iterations of Clayface, but if you are aware, I'd love to hear that in the comment section below. Clayface's right arm has no bend and has a hammerhead as a hand. The arm itself functions on the spring action, which is a bit weak to be honest. Nevertheless, it does the job. The hammer hand can be rotated on the wrist. It's got sculpted details of various imperfections, which makes it quite gritty. The left arm has a single jointed bend on the elbow and got a hand sculpted to securely grab a hold of Batman. The wrist rotates well, and again the body weight distribution on this figure really helps balance not only the figure itself, but in order for it to carry another figure within the hand. The legs from the hip is able to get full range motion, which is excellent for such a bulky figure. We have some tilted articulation on the ankles which provide good balance. However, we get no articulation on the knees, which in all honesty may be a good thing since it could hinder the integrity and the design of such a bulky figure. So overall, this is a really fun set from Mattel's DC line. You can tell this was designed first and foremost to be something kids can jump straight into and start creating stories with immediately. The figures are durable, expressive, and packed with enough personality to make the battles between Batman and Clayface feel something exciting right out of the box. What I really appreciate here is that even though this is aimed at younger fans, there's still a lot here for collectors and creative people to enjoy. The sculpt work on Clayface especially has a lot of character to it, and visually the set has that classic comic book energy that makes it fun to do toy photography, animate, and film. And honestly, that's something I always look for with action figures. Not just whether they look great standing on the shelf, but whether they inspire creativity. Whether you're a kid making up stories on the floor, a collector posing displays,
or someone like me creating cinematic shots and stop motion scenes, this gives you a lot to work with. So yeah, I had a really good time checking these out. Massive thanks again to Mattel for sending these over, and I'm definitely excited to see what else they're going to do next with the DC line going forward.